Welcome! I am your humble lead artist, Betsy Luntow, and today we are drawing this awesome lightning unicorn. I'm going to back up my camera, zoom out a little bit so we can try to get the reference picture and my piece of paper on at the same time. Not always doable. Just scoot it over like that. So we're going to start with the head, and as we have done before, we're going to use a couple of circles. The first one, maybe about the size of a quarter. Let me show you where it is on my page. I got a little space in front, like I have a little space in front there. Closer to the top, more room on the bottom. And then I'll draw a smaller circle about the size of a dime. That's going to be for the nose. In fact, let's zoom in a little closer now that we have the positioning on the paper. And then we'll just connect these two up with a curved line on the bottom, straighter line on the top, and erase out the middle. Then down at the nose end, we can add a nostril. This one's just got a little hooked line. Oh, there's Wendy. Let's let Wendy in.
Oh, wow, look at holes.
So we'll just start with this simple shape. A little bit bigger on the side, a little bit narrower towards the nose. And then we'll add a mouth. On the other side of the nose, I'm just going to make a little bit of an angle to show that that's where the other nostril is on the other side. And I'll go ahead and darken in the line that I want to keep for the chin. And then let's go ahead and sketch in the eye. We're going to do like a leaf shape. Pointy on the ends, curved in between. If you want to give your unicorn eyelashes, that's up to you. Then I'll draw just a little circle on the inside. That's going to stay white as a reflection. And just like we had a little angle on this side, we're going to have a little angle on this side for the other eye. I'm just going to add a little bit, little triangle. That might actually be too much. Let's try again. I don't always get it right on the first time. In fact, I never get it right on the first time. We have a couple students coming in a little bit late asking for a pause. I can pause for 1 minute, but it's not fair to the people who are on time to wait for the people who were late. So I can wait a little bit. Let me zoom out and show you the whole thing so you know what you're drawing. So my circle that's supposed to be the jaw and the cheek is a little bit out of place. I'm going to move it so that it's more underneath the eye. That's why we draw in pencil, so we can change these things very easily. And then we'll go ahead and add this lightning horn. So I'm going to pick a spot in between the two eyes. That's where the horn is going to begin. And it'll curve up. Then to make it look more like lightning, we're going to do a little straight line forward. It's going to look a little bit like the number 7. And then we'll curve up one more time. Into a lightning horn. To add the ear, we're going to make one curve on the bottom and then an S curve on the top. So I'm going to start with this bottom line here. And then on the other side, we'll have a bigger curve where it's connecting into the head, and then a little curve as it goes to the tip. So this ear is folding backwards. Next, we're going to add the neck. And when we do that, I want you to take a look at this shape right here. If this was a shape, it almost looks like a shark fin going through the ocean. If my pencil is the ocean, there's that shark fin. So if this is one side, I want to go ahead and make the other side of my shark fin pretty smooth, not too big. But then we're going to take a look at the white space. How this is a very small shape. It's almost like a curving rectangle, but these two are very close. So I'm going to add in another line for the shoulder that starts out pretty close to the horse head and then turns away. Then for the top of the neck, let's make this great big curve right from the top of the circle above the ear. You can see there's space above the ear. Come all the way back around. You can see I'm drawing lightly because we will erase this later, or at least parts of it. But we want that shape to connect a little bit. And then we can clean up all the lines we don't need anymore. For the next part of the body, we're going to add on another kind of a half circle for that part there. So I'm just going to have a short line for the back. That's this one here. Not very long because we've got overlap happening. And then I'll connect it right back into the body. It's a little bit like a duck tail, a little rubber ducky.
Be right back.
Okay. And from this point, which is right up here by the tail, we're going to add this part of the leg, which kind of looks like a big raindrop.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Just lightly, we're going to change some things later probably, so we just want to get in kind of a plan of where this leg is going to be. Then we have another shape, pretty much like a rectangle coming out of the back. There's a little notch before we get to the hoof in the back. And in the front, we have two lines. We have one that goes down and then one that goes to the right. So I'm going to go down first, then a little bit to the right, and connect that up into a hoof. Then the other back leg is going to connect with this curve and then a straight line, almost like a backwards question mark. So I'll make the curve first. You can see I draw lots of times because I can't get it right the first time. And then I come in and erase the ones I don't like. Keep the one I like the best. And then bring it forward. This leg is going to get covered up by the other leg, so remember to draw lightly. We'll probably erase some of this later. I'll follow those lines down. And same thing as this one, we'll have a little notch. Down. And hoof. Lightly, lightly. Probably going to erase it later. And then for the front legs, let's work on this one first. So we already drew this part, this big muscle. Now we're going to add kind of a rounded off ice cream cone. That's going to be this part right here. I know the lightning is covering it up. A little rounded off triangle. Very, 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 very lightly a circle. We're going to erase that later, but I want to know where to put the angled lines for where the skeletal joint is. Then we'll have that leg go back. You can erase out the shape as you go. And then same thing as the back hooves, we'll have that little notch, little cutout. Longer line in front, shorter line in back. Round it off. You can double check and see if your hooves are all about the same size. Mine looks a little small compared to my other two, so maybe I should make it a little bigger. Notice that I'm going to draw my new lines first, and then I'll erase second. This is a whole lot easier than erasing first and trying to guess which would be a better place to put the line. Draw first, erase second.
Oh, hey, Betsy. Oh, hey, want to hear a cool art tip I recently discovered?
Sure, let's hear it.
I discovered that if you're having trouble figuring out how to make two colors look good together, is you should Google search like color A and color B aesthetic, and then you'll find a bunch of aesthetic boards, and like they like match them up really nicely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Most of the time I want to do colors, but then I don't have the colored pencils to match. So then it's like, well, I'll just use the colors I've got.
Oh.
Digital coloring is pretty great that way, though, that you can use all the colors.
Oh yeah, that's the main reason why I do digital.
This other leg, honestly, I'm not very happy with, so I'm going to try and draw it better this time. We're going to start with those same basic shapes. First, I want to get this part of the muscle. You can see there's an overlap in the horse's muscles here. So I'm going to start with this part on the bottom that overlaps just a little bit. Doesn't have to be that dark, actually. I'm trying to make it show up on camera. That's just a separation of the chest muscles there. Just like you have different muscles to move one arm from the other arm, horses have different muscles in their chest to help move one leg or the other leg. So after we separate that out, then we can add in that rounded off ice cream cone shape. And I want the circles to be pretty much in the same spot, but this one is going to be slightly bigger. Why? Because when things are the same size, but one is closer to your eyes or the camera, it looks huge and the other one looks tiny. So this one, because it's closer to us, going to be bigger. Just slightly. And we'll do the straighter lower part of the leg. It's going to overlap. That's okay, you just erase it out. Same thing. Since these horses have 4 hooves, we got to do it 4 times. And I'll darken up the lines that I'm keeping so you can see them a little easier. Oh, I forgot to mention, These circles, I'm just going to use straighter, more angular lines there to show that there's a bony part that's very close to the skin. And then these curving lines show that there's muscle, raw horsepower. I'm going to pause here about 2 minutes. You can sharpen your pencil if you need to. If you need to work on your horse's legs, this will give you time to do it. And we'll keep going at 4:30. Just 1 more minute and then we'll keep going.
Hey Betsy, is it bad that I've kind of not completely redoing it, but I'm just kind of redoing like some parts of this painting again, like changing the backgrounds and like some of the colors and stuff?
I wouldn't judge it as bad. I would just weigh the cost and the benefit. Like if it makes you happy to go back and do it again, then
Oh
do it
yeah.
again.
Yeah, definitely. I took a break from this piece for a while, but now that I'm coming back to it and messing around with it a little bit, I'm finding I'm a lot happier with this.
Oh, for sure. Fresh eyes, like taking a break from a piece and coming back, all of a sudden it looks so clear on what you have to do next. I've heard some painters will make paintings and then put them in storage for 3 months and then bring them back out again.
Oh. Wow.
That's kind of long though. I don't think I'd do 3 months. I got a tangent happening here, so I'm just fixing that up. That's why we take these pauses, so you can fix up some of the things that are bugging you. But it's time to move on. So let's go ahead and add a tail to our unicorn, flowing out and back. First off, I'm going to round off the rump so it's not quite so sharp. Erase off that little point. You can also erase these lines on the inside that you don't need. And just keep one for the leg there. So for this tail, I'm sure you guys are used to this by now. We're going to be looking at curves. We've got one going one way. We've got one going the other way. We call those S curves. So we've got a shorter curve going up. And we've got a longer curve going to the back. Whenever we're doing longer curves, it's easier if you stick your pencil out. Then you can just wiggle your fingers or your wrist and you'll get nice big curves that are nice and smooth. I may run out of paper for this one. But after you've got your big curve on top, we have another curve that goes down a little bit like a slide. So what we don't want to do is this. Can you see how that one is different from that one? This one has pretty much the same curve on the top and the same curve on the bottom. So it's starting to look like a pattern. This one's very different. We've got a short little curve, big curve, another big curve. Then for the bottom part of the tail, we've got more curves. We've got a little curve that way, and to make it a little bit like the lightning, I made a little angle here. So we're going to do a little curve and then a big curve. Little curve, big curve. And then to make it look more like hair, we're going to have this one stray hair that's coming off of our big shape. So right from here, there's this little curve. I'm just going to keep on going. Notice I'm not moving my fingers. I'm moving my whole wrist like a windshield washer, or wiper, I should say. It's going back and forth, back and forth. Help me to get that big curve. We have another little piece coming off the bottom here. And then if you want to, you can add in a few more lines on the inside to make it look like there's some long strands of hair in there. Next, we're going to do this mane. And we're going to start on this side where it connects into the neck, and it looks like we're making little check marks for all the hair that's going to be flying up and into the sky. So I'm going to start kind of above the ear here and make my first check mark. Then a little bit up, I'm going to make another check mark. And a little bit up of that one, another check mark. You can erase the neck as you make your check marks, or you can kind of half erase it first. You want to be able to see a little bit of it so you know where to put your check marks. Oops, my paper moved. Maybe one more. And then the mane is going to start curling down. And you don't have to copy me exactly. You can draw more hair if you want. Just remember that each time you draw a lock of hair, you want it to be different than the ones that you've already drawn. So if I've drawn a big one, my next one might be a little smaller. It might go in a different direction. Next, I'm going to just very, very lightly drag my pencil from my check mark up into the top of this spike of hair right here and lightly bring it back down. If it's easier for you, you can make the whole shape. But since I'm going to erase part of it later anyway, I don't always draw the whole shape. I'll start from the tip and flick backwards. Then this next one, we could imagine that it's going out and continuing out, make a shape. But the only lines that I'm going to darken are from the tip and erasing the middle. And we'll just keep on doing that. Pretend there's a spike that connects right there. I'm drawing so lightly. You can probably barely see it. Start from the tip and flick. Tip and connect. After a while, you don't even have to draw the shape. You can just imagine or float your pencil and go, yeah, that's where the tip would be right there. Once you get near the bottom, you can just curve it around to the other side. And I'll put a few more skinny pieces in front. Again, I'm not connecting the whole shape. I'm leaving that middle part empty. You can see that line doesn't touch that line. Might have another one going behind. We'll zoom in on that part in case anybody needs a closer look. And then a few lightning effects. Let's take a look at how to draw lightning. You might want to grab a scrap piece of paper just to practice first. To draw lightning, usually you see lightning like this, kind of like Harry Potter's scar, right? Where it kind of goes just straight lines. That's more like an icon, like a button. Instead of doing it like that, you can see I've used lots of curved lines. So I'm using big curves that go every which way. But on the other side, it has to curve the other way. And then you get these really spiky, erratic, lightning type electricity shapes. It's okay if you get a couple blocks in there every once in a while. But if you want to practice first, just grab that scrap piece of paper, make big curves, little curves, make them go all over the place. On the other side, they're going to flip around. Don't make them even, make some big, some small. Make some pieces of the lightning get wide, make some get skinny. And if you want to, every once in a while, you can bring off a little tiny bit of energy like that. Just lines. Thank you, Natalie. I've been drawing a long time. With practice, you get better. So let's try drawing some lightning. So down here by the hooves, again, you don't have to try to match every little curve and every little thing. Just think I'm going to make a little curve and a big curve and a little curve and a couple more little curves and a big curve. I'm going to get all wobbly and crazy over here like that. Then on the other side, flip it around, end in a point. Make little ones, make big ones, make it get farther away and thicker, make it go back close together. And we've got some lightning. Of course, you can draw little tiny bolts too if you'd rather do those kind. I had some lightning go over my unicorn's leg. You can do that if you want to. Or you can have the lightning go behind. Might be easier to start with tiny lightning first. Make one big curve or a little curve. Flip it around, curve the other way. And after you have fun with drawing all your lightning, if you want to put in some cloud shapes, some storm clouds, those are nice and big and fluffy. We have about 10 minutes left. So you can jump to color or you can finish up your lightning.
Hey, Betsy.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of paintbrush, just by name alone, what kind of paintbrush would be good for making clouds?
Clouds. I would do some kind of like painterly one, like either a watercolor or an acrylic.
Oh, thank you.
Here's the color version if you want to take a look at that again. Request to see the drawing one, of course. Here we go. I feel like I need a little more lightning. Maybe some over here. That looks a little empty up there. And a little more lightning. Oh, it kind of looks like it's striking my unicorn though, doesn't it? Let's leave a little space there. See, change your mind all the time. Just about 5 more minutes to work on your drawings and then we'll go ahead and share. Let me know if you have any questions or you need me to demonstrate something again. I'm happy to do it. Just 3 more minutes. Any BTS fans? I just heard their new song that came out yesterday. I like it. Oh, Natalie might be having ice cream after this. That sounds tasty.
Ooh.
Just one more minute, and then we're going to go ahead and share. All right, 4:55. Let me remove my spotlight, and who's ever ready to share their work, go ahead and hold it up to your camera, and I will spotlight for everyone. Nope, nobody's ready yet. Oh, there's one. Natalie's ready. Let's spotlight for everybody. Wow, look at that cool lightning. Nice job. It's going to look even better when it's colored.
The head is really good.
Yeah. What about Tracy? Is Tracy ready yet? Nope. I usually take silence as a no. Oh, Callista's ready. Let's spotlight for everybody. Whoa, I like it. A beautiful tail. Very nice. Woo, nice long tail on that one too. You guys did a good job.
Finally use a bigger paper, that's why.
Ah, I see.
Everything fits now.
Yeah, you don't run out of papers easily as I do. Anybody else want to share? We have a few more minutes. If you want to pass, that's fine too.
Oh, I'm saving mine for the next class.
Alrighty. That leaves Wendy or Frank. Do you want to share? Frank's ready. Let me go ahead and spotlight for everybody. Whoa!
Whoa, clouds.
Clouds are super cool. Lots of lightning too. Neat.
Wow.
Looks like Tracy's ready. Ooh! Wow, it looks like you draw small. You were still able to get in all that detail of the mane. Impressive.
Hair looks good.
Yeah, I like this mane flying around. Wendy, did you want to share or are you going to pass? Anyway, thanks for drawing with me, guys. I will see you next time. We'll do a lightning unicorn. Bye-bye.
Did you come up with it from scratch, or did you trace something?
I looked at a photograph of a horse that was in this position, and I remembered that horse from Rainbow Bright, and so I used those colors. So it's a combination.
Oh.
Did you want this one, Tracy, or my black and white drawing, my pencil drawing?
Dino.
This one. I don't know what dino is. I mean, I know it's a Democrat in name only, but I'm sure that's not the dino Natalie's referring to.
Toy name.
Oh, your toy name. Got it. Everybody got their pictures? Yes? we're just about ready to wind up then and end class. Next time we'll be drawing, I think, our very first alicorn, one that has wings and a horn.
Ooh.
And we'll be
Like
Yeah.
Twilight Sparkle.
with sparkles.
Like
I will be sure.
Twilight Sparkle.
Yes, like Twilight Sparkle. I will be showing you guys how to draw that next week. So see you then. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.